Alright, so girl KB right here. We out here chilling by the water. Alright, so first things first. Let the people know who you are and what you do.
Can you hear me? So I'm KB. I am a home health aide during the day. I'm a cowgirl part-time, but I'm a healer full-time.
All right. So when you say healer, what exactly are you meaning by the word healer? What does a healer do from your perspective?
So a healer could be many things, but ultimately the bottom line is that we help and heal other people, other beings, other entities, other energies, right? And everybody's healing looks different, so it's not like a one sentence answer.
Yeah.
The way I heal could look different from how you heal, but the way I heal could look the same as how you heal and vice versa, right? But for me, in my personal experience, I found that my healing comes through horsemanship, right? So I'm able to use the horses to be able to heal the community. So it's like, it's such a spiritual thing because of the nature of the beast itself, and then how we're connected to nature and how it's tuned, if we pay attention to it, how tuned we can be with it to heal ourselves.
All right, so I think that's incredible. That's awesome. And now when you say horsemanship, okay? So people out there that might not understand, yeah, they might think about, hey, maybe riding horses or maybe taking care of horses. But what extent of that pertains to you being a spiritual person?
So for me personally, I didn't realize it right away. My story was that my mom had passed away right when I learned how to ride. And one thing I realized is that riding and being around the horses was making me feel better. So I knew it was something more to it other than just having fun. And so I just kept doing it because it was like the one thing that was giving me air. It was the one thing that was giving me life. Yeah. Everything else was sad. And so I knew there was a bigger meaning to it. And so when I started to look into it, I realized that there really is something called equine therapy where the horses really can help you heal therapeutically. Yeah. But for me, it was just a natural thing. I was already tapped in. It was the nature, which is who I am naturally, that made me connect to it so easily. It was a no-brainer for me because it's who we are.
Yeah. So now here you say the word nature. Like, of course, in our community, the conscious community, we are constantly, we have certain trigger words, like elevation, nature, stuff like that, right? But of course, everybody has their own perspective of what nature really is. So we can see and understand, hey, you ride horses, you probably ride in all different types of terrain, including the woods and all that other stuff, right? But tell me, when you're in that moment, right, when you're embracing that moment, and of course it feels good, but what does that good feel like?
The best way to describe it, I always say to people, is the things that I get to see when I'm riding my horse, you would never get to see in your car. I'm in places you would never get to see in your car. So sometimes we're so deep in the woods, you're surrounded by nothing but natural trees. And the vibration of that is something you have to experience. I can tell you all day, and you're on 1,000-pound feet, surrounded by trees. So not only are you dealing with the beast, you're dealing with the trees, the dirt, the air, the bugs, all of nature, sometimes water, depending on what we're going through. Yeah. It's all nature. And some of these places you just would never see in your car.
Okay, so I can kind of see that. So describe to me, okay? I've never seen this in my car. You're out in nature. So what are some of those things that you're seeing that really connects you to being here on Earth and being present?
Okay, so it's a thing where they say, I'm gonna talk about the trees alone.
Okay.
Well, not alone, but the focus is the trees, right? And they say how you could be sad. They like to make fun of the tree hugger, right?
Yeah.
But the reason you can hug the tree is because the tree been here years before you. They have information that you do not have.
Yeah.
That's one tree that has all this information. But all the trees have it, right? So now I'm in the middle of it, where there's not a whole lot of disruption. It's all nature really at its finest, uninterrupted really. And I'm in the center of it, on a beast, as y'all will call it.
Yeah. This
1,200-pound being. So I'm already had to connect to it.
Yeah.
That's an energy. It has to trust me to get on its back and walk me through this. That's the connection.
Yeah.
Now we're in this space. This being that I'm riding has to trust me so much to allow me to come into this space that neither one of us know. So now we're in here. And one tree knows a lot of information, but I'm in the middle of thousands of trees. So imagine if I just stop and listen for a second.
Okay.
What all these trees could be saying to me while I'm sitting on the beach, who is also talking to me. It is spirituality at its finest. If you view it that way.
Yes.
That's the key.
Okay. So what do you mean? So let's just say you and a friend of yours, a teammate of yours, you're out riding the beast, right? These horses, 1,000-pound horses that you're connecting with. Say that this person doesn't have that type of connection that you have. How do you think some of their viewpoints are? Do you ever have those type of conversations with those people?
Yeah, so their viewpoint may not be as feeling as mine. It's like I'm a feeler, I'm an empath, so I feel deeply like that.
Yeah.
And everybody isn't, and I get that. However, it doesn't mean that you're not getting the healing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like going to the gym. The first couple times I go to the gym, I'm not going to lose 100 pounds, but I can still get into the rhythm of it. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like I can still get into the rhythm of riding and being in the trees, and whether I realize it or not, it's calming.
Yeah.
You might not put it in those words, but it's really what it is. If I talk to you long enough, they will say it too. It's a way for me to get out of the house.
Yeah.
It's my little piece of privacy, or whatever.
Yeah.
They'll say it. Even if it's not so spiritual, they still understand that it's a piece of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so what I understand is, hey, it's still in that realm of spirituality. Wherever they get that calm, wherever they get that peace from, it's still right here. They might not really explain it the same way that you explain it, right? But it's absolutely there. It's present. Yeah. Now, with that being said, like I know personally, I'm a person. I like the ground. Like I have my own grounding pad. I like the ground and kind of release my energy. And then when I actually look at it and see it from the standpoint, like energy is in motion all the time. We know it's everywhere. Everything is energy, and especially when you start to ground yourself, you get in a place, in a position where you're releasing a lot of toxic energy that's being stored up in your body. Right. So when I'm thinking about you're on the horse, this horse is touching the ground. A lot of that negative energy that you might have been feeling before you started riding, if you're in that state of mind, right? Once you get on that horse, it all just kind of fades away. Is that true? Is that kind of how it feels?
So yes, actually yes. And I like to put it like this. It's like polarity of life. It's a spiritual thing, but it's a physical thing too.
Yeah.
So the whole point is for you to be present.
Yes.
Just to be physically safe on the horse,
Yeah.
I need you to be present.
Yeah.
You can't be over there with your thoughts. You can't be thinking about what you got going on at home or what happened 10 minutes ago at the McDonald's. You can't think about any of that because this is a real being and it can feel you.
Yeah.
If you in the wrong place at the wrong time when this thing is through. And so just for you to be safe, you have to be present. So it's almost a knack for me the way that I teach, let me say it that way. My first thing is energy, being aware of your energies and how the horse responds to it and vice versa, right?
Yeah.
And so in order to do this, you have to be present. You have to be so present that you know how you're feeling, how the horse is feeling, what's going on, y'all connecting, y'all not connecting, whatever. All that takes focus.
Yeah.
So whether your mind is here or there, it really doesn't matter to me. By the time I start teaching you about this, you have no choice but to be here.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I think that's awesome. Like I was saying earlier, the whole thing, when I see spirituality, for me, it's always about how to get into the community and heal this joker. How do we get to the root and get our people, even if it's 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, get our people out of what we see as the slums into a place where they can actually see themselves in a brighter future. So I got this thing that's called like getting closer to the moment, okay? Get closer to the moment. And with that, getting closer to the moment is about being 100% present with who you are within your natural self and feeling your energy and getting to know your energy. So I have like seeing in the moment, right? When we start to visualize the people that we want to become and the things that we want to do. And then I have breathing in the moment where we actually take time to catch our breaths and actually get a chance to experience that, right? Get a chance to experience who we are. This is what we are doing. Feel your lungs, feel your arms. Let's just slow down for a second so you can be who you want to be. That's my perspective, you know, with how to reach the people and how to get their minds clear. All right, so what's your perspective when it comes to that? Like how do you see this thing moving as you continue to progress within who you really want to be?
I don't know if I understand your question. Ask me again.
All right. What are you trying to do to help the community? What does that look like when it's all said and done? Like I want to get like to the nitty gritty of, let's say you're dealing with a person one-on-one. What are you trying to get or give to this person as they're in your program?
I'm basically trying to give them solutions to basically emotional intelligence is the bottom line.
Okay.
So I think that once we as black people learn how to control our emotions, male and female, and understand masculine energy and feminine energy and not man versus woman.
Yeah.
Two different things. And we get off of this emotional state of being where we can't even talk to each other. Everyone's so heightened, you know. So it's to get you back to a place where we're calm, we know how to express ourselves without falling apart. And dealing with our emotions in a way that's useful. Because I don't believe in peace all the time. That's bullshit. Mother Nature is the epitome of feminine energy and she ain't peaceful all the time. Like that's unrealistic. But it's what you do with the energy, right? How do you hold on to it? Do you let it go? Do you hold on to it so long you become destructive to yourself and others? Blah, blah, blah. Or do you feel it and transmute it or alchemize it in a way where you're like, now I can take that shit that I was hurting from and now use it to work in my favor. Just like the story you were telling me earlier today about the dude that was deaf. He took that shit and he like, I'm deaf, but you know what? I figured out this little instrument because I'm deaf and now I'm rich. He used it in a good way. It was still a part of a situation. It's still a part of emotion sometimes, but he used it in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, and so we can teach our babies and adults too, for real, how to like manage their emotions. I think that will really resolve a lot of issues. But I think it's imperative that the men heal amongst the men and the women heal amongst the women, and then we can come together and have better conversations.
Okay. I do like that idea. I absolutely do like that idea. Now I see it as, and not to get too far off the topic, because I don't want to get too far off the topic. I see that as, because I think we're already in groups where men are talking to men and women are talking to women. And I think, I still see a lot of toxicity within both of them. Not to be devil's advocate, but what spin do you see on that as far as bringing, this is speak for you as being a woman, what spin do you see as far as what could you bring to these women to be like, all right, this is how we need to start communicating with our men?
I really think a lot of it is experience, because I'm learning too. And I've noticed when I talk about it, the women that I've moved to talk to absolutely 100% relate to what I'm saying. Like, there really is, it's a no-brainer. There are women out here that really want to understand their man. It's not all the women that's on some get money, blah, 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 right? It's a healthy number, but it's not all, and there's a lot of us that still want to get it. And so when we have these conversations, it's like, damn, sis, I am like that. I'm like, I know you like that. I'm like that too. That's how I know you like that. You know what I mean? And we can really laugh about it, but then say, well, what do we do? Because now we're both vulnerable. We both had to admit that we were wrong here in the way we were talking to him.
Yeah.
We both had, that's the first step. We had to first, that's second step. We had to first admit it to ourselves, and now we done said it out loud to somebody else.
Right.
So now it's like, okay, I'm not the only one, and I done said it out loud. So when she say something to me, I can't really resist it. I already admitted it.
Yeah.
So that's really what it boils down to. If I can have real conversations where I think it's a lead by example type thing, like, listen, I'm not holier than thou. I've done this myself, but let me tell you, I always say I haven't mastered this because I'm not perfect, but I'm aware. So let me share you what information helped me. You can do whatever you want to do with information, but I'm going to just share.
Yeah.
My thing is, my calling was to plant the seed. I may not have to water it. I've done my part. I said what I needed to say to you. Spirit said, say this. And I said this.
Mm-hmm.
What you do with it really isn't none of my business.
Yeah.
I did what Spirit told me to do. But I would love for you to keep having the conversation so we can do this healing, because I do truly believe that we need to really start taking accountability on how we're talking to our men. But I think we don't always understand like how it affects us. So when I'm starting to say, Shorty, this, I'm listening, they like, yeah, I'm hearing it too. I'm like, damn. So I'm not the only one that sees it. So I think once we start to own it and do the work, because we love y'all. You know, we just don't know how to express it, because we hurt too. You know what I'm saying? We've been through the same stuff. And so it's like, all right, once we learn how to release a lot of that stuff and just, like y'all would say, talk calmer. I'm going to say calmer. I don't really like that talk thing. But calmer. It's the presentation. Because when I can say to them, hey, sis, isn't it usually the presentation when he say something to you? It's the same thing. Put yourself in their shoes the way you want him to put yourself in your shoes. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
So I think that's awesome. Now I think we can actually make a thing of this. One thing you said, right, that I really appreciate is not, I don't have to use the word softer. Like, what does that mean? But calmer, right? And I feel like as a man, I can actually embrace that and talk to men and say the same thing. Hey, how about we could just be calmer? And then we can have that link of being calm to actually come together. I think that'd be awesome. This idea that came to me right now. I think that might have been a spiritual thing, but it definitely came over me right now. It's like, all right, let's say that. We can make it a whole thing.
Because emotion is passionate. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have some emotion, men and women. It's a passionate thing. Again, Mother Nature is the epitome of femininity. And Mother Nature ain't always sunny. She's rainbows, she's sunny, but she's tornadoes and hurricanes too. Yeah. So that whole, I only expect my woman to be one way, you got to get out of that. And if you're talking about feminine energy is all of the things, but it's to build. Sometimes it's destroy and build. You got to rain, then sunshine. It's always a polarity to this. It cannot just be soft when you're talking about feminine energy. Now, being a woman is a different conversation. If that's the calm and soft characteristics that you like, but that's not feminine energy. So that's a conversation I think we need to kind of clear up too. The difference between feminine, because I literally heard a guy say, as a woman, either you have it or you don't. Either you born with it or you're not. And I said clearly right there he's ignorant to what feminine energy is. Because I cannot not have it. I have it. You also have it as a man. We both have both. I cannot not have it. Now, am I tapping into it? Or am I hyper-focused on it? Maybe or maybe not. But we got that conversation misunderstood. So I think that would be another conversation we can have so we can start to get over what feminine energy is or isn't. Right. And same thing with masculine energy is or isn't. Right. And that one has it and one don't and all this nonsense. Because if you think about nature, it goes back to nature, right? Everything in nature has both.
Yes.
Why do you think we don't? Like, stop it. Go deeper. Your thing is get closer to the moment. My thing is go deeper. Everyone's on the surface level and they just regurgitate what they heard the next person say. You gotta start going deep and have deeper conversations.
Alright, so I think that was excellent because I agree with you on that. As far as masculine energy and feminine energy, we all contain that. As a being that is able to move on this planet and walk around, you have different polarities within your body. You have a negative polarity and you have a positive polarity. Okay? Now, I want you to think of this because I believe that most of us men will agree with me and say, hey, you see an animal out in nature, you might, let's put it like this. You have a dog at home, okay, that you have taken care of all its life, and it's such a precious female dog, okay? And no disrespect, oh my God, it might sound bad, no disrespect, okay? I don't mean that to like.
What the hell are you about to say?
But what I'm saying is, that dog that you raised since birth, which was a female, has a litter of puppies, right? And then you touch her litter of puppies too soon when she's not ready. A whole nother side of that dog is gonna come out. Now, can you tell me if that's masculine energy that she's portraying? Or is this the necessary energy that she is portraying? What is it? So you have to think about it like that because we all have a child. I have a child. You might think I'm a little teddy bear around him. Like he can just climb all over me. You know what I'm saying? I try to make sure he's good. I'm changing his diapers. Like, yo, you good? Let me smell your butt. Make sure you ain't poop or nothing like that. Look, I have that nurturing side within me. Does that make me less of a man? Is that saying I'm projecting a lot of my feminine energy? Right? Because I'm not supposed to have it? So the polarities is really what we're talking about. We're talking about the adding and subtracting. can you add or subtract in the moment that you are in? Can you do that in the moment?
Can you do that in the moment? Know when to tap into what?
Right. Can you portray your life without thinking about what happened to you in the past and then reflecting that on everybody that you come in contact with? Can you do that? So that's when you add or you subtract. It's whatever you need in that particular moment, and then you get back to balance.
If you do that, you always stay in balance. That's my thing. I always say the statement, every situation is not required to be handled with peace. I don't live by that. Y'all can stop that. You're a woman. I don't care. Because like I said, Mother Nature is not always sunny and rainbow. She is rough. You can look at the water. Look at the water alone. There's patches where it's bubbly, it's smooth, it's ripple, it's rougher there. It's all these things at one time. It's all the things at one time. And this is nature. This is feminine energy flowing. And look how different it is at all times. It's at once. And this is the part that y'all have to understand and start to embrace it. Because think about it. Right now, you got your foot in there. One foot is up here just enjoying the air. One foot is down there in the rough part, kind of soft part. But you learn to embrace it and go with the flow of it instead of resisting. I'm going to learn how to flow with this.
Yeah.
How do I be one with this? I'm going to sit it right here and be one with this thing. And relax and being one with this thing. And not trying to fight me all the time.
Yeah.
There's no fight here.
Yeah.
I'm in a flow. I'm close to the moment. And if you learn how to be like that with your lady, just like you did with Mother Nature when you're on the beach, it's the same concept because I am her and she is me. But she's also a part of you. That's why you can love your baby like that. That's exactly why you can tap into that piece of your feminine energy of loving your babies like that. Yes, it looks different for me, but you still can do it. That's why you checking diapers and making sure they age and all this stuff.
Boom. All right, so
I gotta sit down.
All right, hey, this ain't what, last thing. What do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Now, I'm a person, I watch Social Proof a lot, so this is one of David Shan's things that he does. And so I'm just saying that because I appreciate his work. I'm not trying to just steal from him, and I'm not talking about just business. I'm talking about in the spiritual sense. What do you see yourself spiritually in the next 5 years?
I'm definitely going to be doing healing work in the community. Something I know about, something I recently learned is like every healer is not going to be doing tarot readings and sitting down with, doing physical work for people, spiritual work for people. They're going to have to go into the place and be in the community, and I know that I'll be one of those people. I'll definitely have a program working with horses and children, definitely working with the veterans that's domestic violence and stuff like that, to be able to heal, but get in the community and do it.
Yeah. All right, awesome. All right, so from here, man, again, my goal is to show you people in the community who are striving for success, and not just that, they're actually in the community doing what they need to do in order to build this community up. No matter what means it takes, they're here to do it, okay? So me personally, I always say, I traded my life in for what I do right now. Not saying that I'm about to die for it. What I'm actually saying is that I'm living for it. I'm living for this lifestyle, okay? That's how I get closer to the moment. And KB is actually doing the same thing. She's doing a great and wonderful job with that and help touching the kids and doing everything she wanted to do coming to fruition, and she has it right now. All right, so we say that, and you know my saying, stay blessed, stay abundant. I love y'all. Throw the peace sign up. Peace.